Lesson 54, representing solids. Oh, I'm going to have to pass out isometric paper. Okay, I'll do that slightly later. Okay, we're going to start with 1 point perspective and 2 point perspective. This is just called perspective drawing. Have all of you guys had perspective drawing? Did we do it last year, or is this the first time in math?
In math.
Have you done it in art? Some of you, but not everybody? Okay, so some, but not all?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Okay. So when we're doing a perspective drawing, we have what's called the horizon line. So this line is called the horizon. Then you put a point somewhere on the line, that's called the vanishing point. So let's say we want to draw a cube in 1 point perspective. You start by drawing your square. We're going to draw right below the vanishing point. You can actually move it over on the sides, it doesn't matter, but we're going to go right in front. After you draw the square, every vertex, the 4 vertices, you draw a dotted line to the vanishing point. So straight dotted line, and usually you would erase these dotted lines after you were done, but we're not going to, so we can keep it in our notes. Now, along the 2 dotted lines that were from the 2 vertices on the top of the square, if you move up along those 2 dotted lines and draw a line, that will be the top part of your box. So it's parallel to the top line, and it's between the 2 vanishing points of those vertices. Same with the side line. It's going to be parallel to this line, and it has to be between those 2 dotted lines and attached to that top one you just drew. So it's just go straight down so it's parallel. And then you're going to draw a parallel line to the right side. Same thing. So it's straight down. And then you're going to go across these 2 dotted lines here. So this is a cube in 1 point perspective. Kind of looks like it's going back. It's supposed to look like it's going back. Got pen all over my hand. In example 1 in your book, which is what we just followed, there is a shaded box drawn this way that's a little bit easier to see, I think, than this. Sometimes this box looks funny to me. But if you can kind of see that it's going back. Then we have what's called 2 point perspective. And that's where both, you can see, it's like looking at the side of the box. So you have your horizon line. This time we're having 2 vanishing points. And we start with just a vertical line. So here's our vertical line. And then we draw from the 2 vertices dotted lines to each vanishing point. I kind of went crooked there. Okay, and then we're going to do parallel lines between each one on the side. So we're just going to go straight down, straight down. And then they already have, from these vertices, they have dotted lines to this vanishing point already, but not to this one. So now we have to draw dotted lines to the second one where we're missing. So on each one, you're gonna put I wish I had a ruler, but I don't. I mean, I do, I just don't want to get it. Okay. Now you can kind of see your boxes starting to form if you just trace out the top of it and maybe the front. It's now like you're looking at the side of the building and it kind of goes back in perspective. So if you look at example 4, it shows like a building there that's in 2-point perspective. So that's super awesome. And now I want to show you some isometric drawing, but we need dot paper. So will you each take one of these and just pass it around as quickly as you can. So isometric drawing is done on dot paper. Now we don't want to take up the whole dot paper because in our lesson practice there's some parts that we want to draw. So we're going to teach you how to draw like a cube of butter or something on this, okay? So can you see kind of, this takes up, I'll get it later. This takes up a lot of space, but I'm going to try to move it more in the corner. But I'm going to show you this slab of butter. Okay. That's kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to put at the top isometric drawings. Lesson 54.
And then you can draw a knife through the butter.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Put a knife through the butter. And then you can write your name on the top just in case it falls out of your notebook. I'll know who it belongs to. So to draw isometric drawings, we have to have our axes, which is diagonal lines through the dots. Okay, I'll get my ruler out. So maybe come down slightly. Do you see how if you do a diagonal line, it's through dots? So we're just going to we'll have this be the center axes. So you do diagonal, and then I feel like I went off slightly. Okay. And then usually there's one straight down, and you'll notice the dots aren't quite the same distance apart. But we don't have to draw that one very long because we're not actually going to use it that much. So when we're drawing this, we can do parallel lines to each axis. Is going to help us. So for this bottom axis, we have 3 lines that will be the same length. Let's just do like maybe 4 dots high. One here. So that's further away. This one will be closer, 4 high. And then we do 4 high right here from the center. I just counted 4 dots. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, I only did 3. Oh, I counted the bottom. I only did 3 high. Whoops, and I don't want to change it. Then we're going to do lines parallel to the right axis. And we'll have 2 of those. We're going to connect these 2 vertices. And then we'll draw one line here that's the same distance, which I think is still 3. And then we'll draw our vertical lines going this way, which you guys can probably already see how you want to finish it off. There you go. I'm not sure. Oh, they do have one, example 3. It actually looks more like butter because it's a little bit narrower and smaller. But, okay, that's the end of the lesson. We'll do some practice drawing. And I shall pause my tape as soon as I find.
Hey, where'd it go?
There you go.